Take a stroll through the heart of this city that we know so well. Charities and shops with stories to tell. Community connections, that's the way. We light up local every day. From the fun to the heart to the city's soul. It's Marlboro pride, let's roll. WMCT, it's where we'll be. Marlboro pride on your TV.
Hello Marlboro, I'm Ryan Malliar, Executive Director here at WMCT-TV, and yes, we are live. It is 1 o'clock today on Wednesday, November 5th, and we're here with another episode of Community Connections, episode number 2. Today I'll be joined by Rick Lombardi from the Vinbin, our great neighbors right downstairs here at 91 Main Street. But first, a little recap. We had the election yesterday, Marlboro's municipal election. So we have the unofficial results right here. So let's just run through what's going on. So we have returning as our mayor, incumbent J. Christian Dumas, coming back for another term. And then for the at-large race, there were 5 people running for this, and only 4 available positions, and all 4 incumbents are returning. That's Sean Navin, Michael Ossing, who's the current City Council President, Mark Oram, and Kathleen Roby, or Katie for short. Quick little note, Katie's going to be joining me on Monday. We're going to have Jaquinto Wildlife here, and Katie's going to be my co-host. We're going to have an owl also. It's going to be a hoot. Terrible joke. Going on, we have Ward 1, and that is Mark Vital. We'll be continuing on. For Ward 2, we have another contested race, and David Doucette will be continuing on to serve for Ward 2. Ward 3, uncontested race, and that's Robert Preciado will continue as your Ward 3 councillor. For Ward 4, we have Heather Gould. She'll be taking the seat previously occupied by Tiona Brown. Ward 5 was a pretty close race, actually. We had John Irish and Michael Baker, and John Irish came out on top there, so he will be your Ward 5 councillor. Ward 6, another uncontested race. We have Albert Trefucillo, and he will be continuing on to serve Ward 6. Ward 7 was a race with Matthew Sargent and Greta Lofgren to fill the coveted spot held for many, many years by Mr. Landers, who is sorely missed. Matthew Sargent will be your Ward 7 City Councilor. And then for a school committee, nothing new happening here. We have Denise Ryan, Michelle Bowden-Hettinger, and Earl Geary will be your school committee representatives. The turnout here in Marlboro this year for voters was 13.77%. But now back to the show. So I'm so excited to have our neighbor downstairs, Rick Lombardi from the Vinbin. Thanks for joining me today.
Thank you, Ryan, for having us. Thank you.
And we've got another friend down here. Who's this friend today?
This is Daphne. Daphne is the official canine of the Vinbin. She's been around for about 12 years and is a piece of the Vinbin culture.
Amazing. She doesn't look 12.
I know. I wish I had her physique. She hasn't gained an ounce in 12 years.
I thought she was a puppy. What a cutie. No, but she's not the mascot. Is the mascot this large cow that we always see out in front? Tell me about this cow, 'cause this cow's been through it.
Oh my God, the cow.
Missing a leg sometimes.
Missing a leg, the cow. I found the cow about 5 years ago on the side of a road in western Massachusetts. I had actually been delivering some products out there, and I saw it at the side of the road, and it was owned by an antique shop. So I said, we need a cow. We need a cow. So I was able to wrangle the cow into our truck, bring him home, and my staff was kind of stunned. Not the so-called happy stunned, but stunned, like what are we going to do with
like,
it?
where's this going to fit in the store?
Where's it going to fit?
But it moved outside pretty quickly.
Yeah, it was in and around the store. Then it moved outside. It was actually stolen at one time.
Oh, no.
Yes, we had it on film. We had it in front of the building, And we have the video of a true wrangler who grabbed him and started pulling him away and dragged it all the way into the Marlboro Common next door. And one of my staff saw it and ran out and grabbed it back and hauled it back. And it was, we have it on video, and it's kind of hilarious to watch him pull the cow back, and then for our guy to pull it back and pull it back to the store. And the police got involved, and eventually the wrangler was rounded up and thrown in the hoosgow.
Wow.
So I don't know what happened to him, but we got the cow back, and the cow is now grazing in the front of the Vin bin.
Yeah, it's just like an iconic sight. It's just like one of those weird little fun cultural things that's a part of Marlboro.
Yeah, there's a cow
and if that cow ever disappeared, we'd miss him sorely.
Yeah, exactly. I know. I'm not quite sure what we ended up calling him, but I think it's her, exactly. I think one of the staff who worked for us was actually in agriculture and said, "That's a steer, not a cow," and it's so
details.
Yeah, so it's we've named him Vinny the Cow.
Love it. I love
okay,
it.
Vinny the Cow.
One thing I really love about the Vin bin is, I guess you'd call it the culture. Everyone is super friendly there. They know me by name. I wish I was better with their names. Maybe we got to get them name tags or something, because they know me and they know my order at this point. And the friendliness is just out of control. Is that something that you've had to actively train people, or did you just assemble an awesome group that just seemed to all be on the same page?
Well, that's part of the hiring process. You've got to be friendly to work here. That is part of our culture. And when I opened this store over 20 years ago, we called ourselves the friendliest wine and cheese shop in Massachusetts for that purpose. There is no reason not to be friendly when people are coming in looking to eat, get cheese, get some wine, get some spirits. What reason would there be not to be friendly?
What reason? No, it's a great experience overall.
Exactly.
And you've got some really interesting things there. So the food, we'll talk about the food in a moment. But first off, the Vin bin, we're talking about wine. So you started off as just an alcohol establishment, or was there always food and other cheeses and things involved?
So our original creation back in 2004 across the street it was a wine and cheese shop.
Okay.
So, and it wasn't just cracker style cheese, it was some real outstanding artisanal cheeses and imported cheeses.
Yeah.
And we were the first to have it in the area, so we drew a lot of attention for the types of cheeses. And that was actually what made us stand out from anything else, as well as some of the eclectic wine selection that we have.
Yeah. So with wine and cheese and these really specific things, how do you source these things? Are you the expert sommelier, or who is going out there and helping you pick these really interesting assortments of cheeses and wines and even craft beers as well?
Sure. So it's all about sampling. There's not a single item in our store, wine, liquor, cheese, crackers, that we haven't sampled, tried out, and determined that it belongs here. We need it to be unique, but overall it's got to be a value. We look at everything as a value. So even if things are expensive, they can still be a value.
Absolutely.
It's what it returns to you, the consumer, and it relates to how much you have to pay for something of value, and we always want to over-provide. So what you're getting, we call it the quality to price ratio. Mm-hmm. You know, it sounds scientific, but actually we're trying to give you more than what you think, than what you pay for. That's basically the bottom line.
Yeah. And I know you've had to go on some really rough trips to go sample all of these wines.
Yes.
And I was talking to you before we went on air about, oh, that sounds like a blast to me, but it actually is work.
It's work. It's work, and people always see when I go away maybe 2 or 3 times a year, travel to different wine areas. And of course, wine areas are always in the most spectacular parts of the world. But where we go is not so much the touristy parts.
No.
We spend a lot of times trekking through muddy fields and
Rural, really.
Very
You're
rural.
not in the city where all the fun is happening.
no, and we're in the cellars a lot, dank 500-year-old stone cellars with dirt floors, and it's dark and cold down there, but we spend a lot of time down there because we need to see the production of the wines. Why are these wines exactly the way they are? And why should we consider them for our customers? And so we spend a lot of time sampling and talking to the winemakers, visiting their wineries, and that's what determines what we bring back into the store.
Fantastic. Let's talk about the food.
Sure.
I can tell you all my favorite items. Chicken Ridiculous rules supreme.
Yeah.
Something about, you've got great bread too. Everything is good. It's just the full composition of the sandwich. The pickles.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Grandma's meatballs.
Yeah.
Never would have thought I'd find great meatballs.
Yeah.
They're great. The soups are always incredible. The clam chowder. So who is the brains behind the food portion of this?
So restaurants have nuanced food cultures. Our culture, and what people may not understand is that there is nothing is by mistake that we give you. Nothing is oh, we'll just give you this mayonnaise. Nothing is that way. Everything is exactly the way it's supposed to be.
And every time too, it's so consistent. I know when I get a Chicken Ridiculous exactly how it is and how it's going to be cut on the diagonal.
Yeah.
And I've got a collection of those orange rubber bands on my office.
The telltale Vin Bin sandwich, the rubber band. My son Michael is a chef, and his wife Hannah also a chef. They met together at a restaurant called Oleana in Cambridge, one of the top restaurants in the country. And this is the story. Michael and Hannah worked together. They fell in love, but because they worked together, they could never have time off together.
Oh.
Because they were both working the shift. Only one could be gone at a time, so they never could get together. So eventually, they moved on to the Vin Bin because Michael had worked for us when he was going to high school, and they created the food here. Now, they are classically trained chefs. They have worked in some of the best restaurants in the country. Michael worked at a restaurant called Chez Panisse in Berkeley, in California. Hannah's traveled to the Mideast. So they're bringing top-of-the-line food culture to a sandwich shop. That is the difference. We're not just slapping mayo down and throwing down a slice of salami. They know exactly what foods to get. They know exactly, all the dips, all the spreads are handmade. Everything is made in the kitchen. Everything that's spread on the bread has been handmade. Everything from any of the pestos, it's all created, and it's created with spices that they came up with. So this is all their creations. So there's no mistake in how you taste it. The soups are all from our hand-cut vegetables from the beginning, everything. The roast beef is hand rubbed and hand cooked to perfection. It's our own roast beef. Corned beef, same way. Chicken is marinated and herbed and spiced before it goes in the oven. All this is all done in our kitchen. Now, nothing is pre-bought, pre-made. Everything is made by us, by hand. And a lot of that, it may not be understood, but that's what gives it that special taste.
Yeah, I understand it in my taste buds, and it's what we were saying before, the cost to pleasure ratio, or
The quality
something.
to price.
Quality to price ratio. This is not just a Subway sandwich.
No.
This is something exceptional,
Yes.
and it fills my soul. It's
Yeah,
great.
I
It's great.
appreciate that.
And then you had a great chili the other day, and I never saw that before. So are there certain foods that we aren't able to get here in Marlborough and are only in other locations?
Southborough has a bigger kitchen, and they're
Gotcha.
able to turn around things more quickly.
Yeah.
Because of this fire station is not permitted for certain types of cooking. We're not allowed to do certain types of, we're not allowed to have a fryer later.
I gotcha.
So we can't do certain things, but they do in Southborough. And there are certain specials in Southborough that they can do, like the falafel sandwich,
Oh,
which was
don't
a
tempt me. Now I gotta make a
huge,
trip.
hugely
You do it with the
popular.
tzatziki sauce and
Yeah,
everything?
all
Oh.
homemade, everything from scratch, everything.
that.
We don't buy anything off a truck. You see the Cisco trucks driving up and down the street. What you won't find of them stopping here.
No.
They'll stop at every restaurant in town. They won't stop here. 'Cause
Amazing.
we don't buy that stuff.
Excellent.
We make it.
Love it. Well, we're going to take a quick word from our sponsors, but when we come back, we're going to learn a little bit more about how the Vin Bin can help you during the holiday seasons. We've got Thanksgiving and Christmas coming up, and I think this might be a really good place for you to do some of that shopping and really put out a fantastic spread on your table. Rick's going to tell us all about that. But let's hear from our sponsors.
It's shout-out time. WMCT-TV would like to thank our sponsors for supporting community media here in Marlborough, Massachusetts. Drumet Hair Salon and Day Spa, offering services including extensions and keratin smoothing, coloring and blonding, precision cutting, and more. Drumet Hair Salon and Day Spa is located at 31 Spring Hill Ave in Marlborough, Massachusetts. The Coffee Loft. Coffee and community is their motto, as they serve up lattes, cold brew, tea, sandwiches, and pastries too. The Coffee Loft is open 7 days a week at 406 Lincoln Street, here in Marlborough. The Vin Bin, bringing you the best in wine, cheese, brew, and gourmet sandwiches for 20 years and counting. The Vin Bin is located at 91 Main Street in Marlborough. Author and illustrator Mark Martirosian, host of TV's Drawing with Mark on WMCT-TV. Mark is offering free downloadable activity pages for kids of all ages. Email pennyarcadecreative@gmail.com for more information. Leah Owen, marketing and business consultant. Leah's team members and partners share her belief that great organizations, from businesses to nonprofits and more, deserve to be seen, heard, and celebrated. From social media strategy to community events, this boutique marketing agency helps local brands and organizations grow with purpose and personality.
And we're back. You know, watching all of those sponsors roll by, it's really exciting because the Vin Bin has signed up to be one of our sponsors. And as a nonprofit, we really are starting to depend more and more to lean on the community to help us in doing what we do. So this is just what I can give you from WMCT-TV is just this interview right here and all the appreciation I can give you. Thank you, Rick.
Well, I appreciate that as well. I have a soft spot for communications. I'd love to support communications.
We'll get into that in a second.
Okay.
Because I'm really curious to learn a little bit more.
Okay.
But I want to talk right now. When I go down to the Vin Bin, I see beautiful gift baskets. And I was just thinking, okay, holidays are coming. If you're going to visit someone's house and who's entertaining, what a perfect gift to bring. So tell me about the gift basket process. Are they all already created, or do you have the opportunity to pick and choose something specific for your occasion?
So my wife is in charge of gift baskets. That's Julie. And what she does is put out a few spec baskets just to show people what they can do. But 99% of the baskets we sell are all customized and handmade.
Oh.
And let me tell you what we did to get to this point. We used to go online and buy all the gift baskets and all the gift boxes from all the other purveyors around locally and nationally and get them all delivered. And we deconstructed what they used to send us. And we said, man, that's awful what they used to charge you and what they used to send you. So we built gift baskets, far more valuable, better construction, better products for less money. And we've been doing that for 20 years. So we know what's out there and we know ours are better. And we've had very successful seasons, especially Thanksgiving and Christmas, where we build gift baskets using our gourmet foods, our wines, everything we have in the store. We hand deliver, we ship. Last year, I can't tell you the name, but we had a major supermarket chain use us for their gift basket program. So we provided hundreds and hundreds of gift baskets for this one supermarket chain. So I can't tell you the name of it, but if you were buying a gift basket out there somewhere, you were buying a Vin Bin gift basket.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, it was.
So who hosts Thanksgiving at your family?
We host Thanksgiving, but it is put on by Michael and Hannah.
Yeah.
They do the cooking.
Absolutely.
And it's a tough ticket to get in now.
So out of a Vinbin family Thanksgiving, what could we expect that's offered at the Vinbin on the table? Is there a particular wine? Is there a cheese that the family, we need to have this every year? What's on the Lombardi to-do list?
So, and actually we were just starting to talk about that this weekend, and it's actually stressful for me and for Julie, because
Pressure's on.
the pressure's on. Here's the guy who's got the wine shop and the cheese shop and the chefs who make the food. All right, now we've got to provide for the family. Let me tell you, there's no more critical people in the world than your own family. You better provide. So we've got a wide selection. We select the cheeses. We have a variety of cheeses. I tell people, pick 5 different cheeses, any 5. Soft, hard, blue cheeses, brie style, but 5 different cheeses. A goat milk cheese. You just don't want a block of cheddar. You want some goat cheese log, and you want some sheep's milk, some mountain sheep's milk. You want the
something
cheddar.
adventurous and a little pungent, and then something a little more tame, so a little something for everybody.
See, you already got it. You already know exactly.
I'll start work tomorrow. No.
And you put that, and you don't need to buy a lot of cheese. And I tell people, don't buy a lot of cheese, because our feeling is you wanted to have just enough cheese for people to have and eat and have it be gone. Because what's going to happen next week? You need more cheese. You'll be coming back.
Yeah.
So once we get that, for the wines for Thanksgiving, very difficult time of the year for wines, because there's so many different flavors at Thanksgiving, so many sweets and savory and salty.
Some people want a red and a white and everything in between.
And what I tell people, get your best bottle of wine. Whatever it is you want to open, get the best bottle of wine in your eyes. Open that prior to dinner and share it with everybody. Let the wine have its moment. And then when it comes to dinner, buy some wines that are food friendly. And for us, food friendly wines include Rieslings, Pinot Gris, Pinot Blancs, Gewürztraminer. Now these may sound strange.
Do you do any blends too? Do you have red blends down there?
And for reds, we suggest Pinot Noir. Zinfandel does go well with Thanksgiving.
Okay.
We tend to tell people to stay away from the really heavy, dry Cabernets during Thanksgiving, because it doesn't really match well with the turkey. However, if you have a really expensive bottle of Cabernet, that's the one you want to open before dinner and drink it.
Okay.
Yeah. And we go through a lot. We spend a lot of time picking out exactly the types of wines you should have for Thanksgiving.
That's great.
Yeah.
Okay. Hope our viewers are taking some notes out there. So we were chatting a little bit that our career paths have some real similarities, and you studied communications back in the day. I know you grew up in Worcester.
I grew up in Worcester. I went to school, I went to UMass, but also I went to Boston University School of Public Communication.
Okay.
So I got my master's there, and I worked for newspapers. I worked for the Worcester Telegram for a while. And then I worked in Marlborough for 15 years running the daily newspaper here, the Marlborough Enterprise. People will remember that, in the Hudson Sun. And back in the day, it was quite a media town, Marlborough was.
Yeah.
We had TV, we had radio, we had 3 different newspapers on a daily basis. That was a lot of fun.
I miss print media. That's part of the reason why I decided to start introducing this Marlborough Mirror. And this is it's not any hard cutting news over here, but just a way to get people on the same page, literally, to know the internet is so vast, and there's so much misinformation too. This is something I wanted to just be lighthearted with a big section for community events, so that someone at a glance can say, oh, what's going on? And we can give a few shout outs right now to some things that we have happening. We have the Kits for Kids kit building event happening on November 12th at the Greek Orthodox Church, another fantastic organization, Kits for Kids. And then there's going to be the Williams Tavern recreation.
Oh, nice.
And that's going to be cool too. That's going to be Sunday, November 16th. It's going to be held at the Marlborough Country Club. And you can find out more information about that through the Marlborough Historical Society. So little things that fly by. I just wanted to give some of these groups a chance to shine, and for people to find out a little bit more.
Yes, a lot of good things happening in Marlborough coming up this season. downtown events, Christmas events, the tree lighting,
Absolutely.
the Main Street events, all good things, all fun things.
Yeah. Now, when I was reading the all of our city councilors who've just been reelected, I could tell you had a lot to say. I know you've been involved in politics as well, and for many years you worked for Governor Bill Weld.
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
I did, yeah. And Paul Salucci. That was.
And you've got a great picture of someone downstairs, right?
Yeah. Yes. So after the newspapers, I did work in government. I worked in the environmental affairs, environmental affairs office under Bill Weld and Paul Salucci. That was quite a fun job.
Was it fun?
Yeah.
Good people?
Unbelievable. Paul Salucci might have been one of the finest politicians we've ever known because of who he was, where he came from, and what he did. Completely different than most politicians today, because he played both sides of the aisle. He had friends everywhere, all the time, always doing whatever had to be done for the benefit of the public, and he was good about it. And he was a smart man. We certainly miss him.
Absolutely. Now I wonder, you're a Marlboro resident.
I am, yes.
Have you ever had the desire to step into the ring of council affairs? And
No.
No?
Never.
No?
Never, 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 no. There are those of us who are on the outside looking in and those of us on the inside. I'm on the outside looking in. I want to comment.
But you can still be super involved wherever you are, you know, and make a difference in your city.
I just want to make good sandwiches.
That's it. Love it. Tell me how else your wife Julie is involved in the VinBin.
Sure. So Julie's a nurse practitioner. And
That's a demanding job.
Yes, it is. She's worked at Marlboro Hospital for a long time. She's worked at some of the local nursing homes. Today, she is actually a visiting nurse practitioner, which is a growing culture for nurse practitioners, just going to people's homes.
Yeah.
By doing that, you keep them out of the hospital. But she really didn't have any of this bug that I had.
Yeah, where did this bug,
No,
this entrepreneurial bug come from?
Can't tell you.
No?
It just, I woke up one day. I had always wanted to be involved in the wine business since I worked in high school at a supermarket in Worcester, and I worked a little bit in the wine and spirits section of the supermarket back in the day. And it really intrigued me on how these wines came to be. So that sort of was always in the back of my mind. And then something happened in my 40s, and I said, you know what, I'm going to do this. Much to the chagrin of my entire family and shock and surprise to my wife.
Yeah. To enter an entrepreneurial adventure is huge. So when you were running the newspaper here, was that something that you purchased a business that already existed, or is that something you started from scratch as well?
So I was out of the newspapers at the time. I was actually working in Boston. I was working I had moved on from the governor's office, and I'd worked for the sheriff's department in Boston. And at that point, I decided that I'm going to get out of this end because it was very political. I was in communications. It wasn't as fun as it used to be.
No.
So I created from the ground up a market, a wine and cheese entity. And I just built it from the ground up. And Julie actually was very helpful because she's very organized. She has a business mind. And she helped a great deal in helping me plot it.
It's amazing how much work we bring home and our spouses and partners help us with. You know, you always come home after the day and you've got something to vent about or something to celebrate. And a partnership, even if they're not directly involved in your business, I know about my partner's work and help him all the time. And same thing with what I'm doing here. To have a sounding board that helps fill in some of your gaps is awesome.
Yeah, it took me 2 years to create. The funny part was I had been doing 2 years worth of due diligence, doing a lot of research, doing my newspaper style research, digging, finding out what had to be done. And during those 2 years, my wife kept on saying, yeah, good, I'm glad you got a hobby, I'm glad you got a hobby. And then when I started signing documents, she said, what are you doing? I said, we're going to own a store.
We're going to own a store.
Then it got real.
And health departments coming in. We got to get licenses
Licensing,
for
absolutely.
a million things.
We have to start hiring people. That was kind of funny. But Julie really has taken on the role of our dry goods buyer.
Okay.
The non-cafe foods, the crackers and the chocolates.
The nuts and
The
all
nuts,
those
yeah. She's really
great
gotten
stuff.
into that, and that's helping her develop the gift baskets. And I really, obviously we like to plug our products, but I'm telling you, when we put gift baskets together, they're really good. We know what's out
Well,
there.
it's just it's unique things that you don't see every day. Even like the little shortbread cookies and stuff. It's all and it changes seasonally and it's stuff you don't see at the grocery store that make that gift so special.
Yes, and we're careful about what is in the grocery store that we don't want. We don't want usual things. We want unique things. And we have a few things today that are from local creators, people who are in the area, greater Marlborough area, who are they're making pickles, they're making cookies, they're making pasta.
Oh, where do the cookies come from? Those good cookies?
The Greek ones now?
No, the ones that are in your display case. Are those made in-house as well?
Yes, from scratch. Yeah, we make everything from scratch.
Amazing.
Everything. Let me tell you, that's labor intensive and expensive. What we do is labor intensive and expensive.
Yeah.
But that's the only way to do it. The only
Do
way
it right.
to do it. Yes. the
Or
only
don't
way
do
to
it at all. That's right.
Thank you.
You got to do it right.
Thank you. That's exactly right.
Yeah.
So we don't apologize if sometimes someone says, that's kind of an expensive. Yes, but there's no other way to do it.
No.
You don't want it cheaper.
And even the menu, it's a comprehensive menu, but it's not out of control, Like I spent some time in Japan, and what was fascinating to me was every restaurant specialized in one thing. You go here for ramen, and that's it. You get your ramen, and maybe you get a beer. You go here for your gyoza. That's it. They do one thing or a few things really, really well.
Exactly.
And you've sort of embraced that mentality without even knowing it, that you do this specific menu, and you have some rotating specials as well, but everything has such thought and care. You do it so well.
Yeah, and it's what the chefs can do well. It's what they're trained to do and what they can do well.
Yeah.
And that's what they do.
So of course people know the Marlborough location here, 91 Main Street, but you've got a few other locations as well, right?
Yes, we've got one in Southborough on Route 9, next to the Starbucks out there. It used to be called White Plaza, White's Corner Plaza.
Okay.
And that's a very busy corner for us. It's also that's our big commissary, that's our big kitchen. That's where all our food is made there. And that's constantly busy there because there's a lot of businesses around there who get catering. The other location, and by the way, that has a full liquor license as well, so you can buy beer, wine, liquor there. And our other store is in Hopkinton at the Price Chopper Plaza. Now that store does not have the food component. It just that's a more of a package store, but not a package store. It's fine wine, it's cheese.
The cheese is still there?
Cheese is there. Big seller there too. Big seller because we still keep our artisan cheese counter. Fine wine, cheeses, liquors, and beers. That's in the Hopkinton Plaza. So those are the three locations that we're currently under management.
And I'm wondering if you could just answer one more question for me, one final question. What is the number one seller here in Marlborough, whether it's a sandwich or a specific wine? Is there a number one that has become the food of Marlborough?
So it's a toss-up. There's three of them.
Okay, I'll take them all.
There's the Firehouse Turkey,
Delicious.
the Grandma's Meatball, and the Angry Italian.
The Angry Italian.
Yes.
Okay.
Angry Italian. And I do want to put one shout out to one sandwich. Now, all the sandwiches are great.
Okay.
We have something called the King Caravan. You've seen that on the menu. Now, that is a special sandwich developed by Alex Caravan. Alex is from Southborough. He is known to the people around here because he went to school here. He was a basketball player. He went to the University of Connecticut and played in the last few years on their two-time national championship team as a starter.
Okay.
So he's a local kid. He's a big-time college basketball player. He says the Vin Bin in Southborough is his favorite place to eat. And he would come in, and he would come in all the time. You can't miss him. He's 6'9". Come in all the time, and he said, "Can I make my own sandwich?" So we had him sit down, and he created his own sandwich. We call it the King Caravan, named for him, created by him. And that's a really big seller in our Southborough store. People know the Caravan name,
Yeah.
and we're proud and honored that he chose us to create a sandwich in his own honor.
How cool is that?
Very cool, actually.
And just
very
showing
cool.
you're developing these personal connections.
Yeah.
It's more than just a store. It is really a community hub in some ways. And you offer some different classes and stuff occasionally too. Don't you do little workshops? You do wine tastings?
We do. We have wine tastings every week.
Amazing.
Saturday, Thursday, and Friday in Hopkinton. Saturdays in Marlborough. There's always something to try on the weekends down there.
Yeah. Getting the community involved.
Yes.
What a special place.
Yes.
Thank you so much for coming
Brian,
on today.
pleasure. Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Thank you for having us.
And you know, I'll probably see you in 15 minutes because I'm going to be heading downstairs, maybe trying out that King Caravan.
King Caravan.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's very good.
Yep.
Thank
Well, that brings us to the end of another episode of Community Connections. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you ever have a nonprofit or a charity group in your neighborhood that you think would like to be featured here, please reach out. Or if you just have a fun community event that you'd like to publicize, this is the place to do it. Come on, swing on by on a weekday around 1 o'clock. The office won't miss you too much. We'll get you in and out of here. But I'd love to have more guests sitting in this chair over here to just shoot the breeze and have a nice, friendly conversation. I'm Ryan Maliar, Executive Director here at WMCT-TV, signing off.